Bonsai, I am the Cobra Kai kid, and today we're writing season 6. Isn't that right, Ken Cole?
That's right. We're writing season 6 of Cobra Kai. Drew, this is awesome. It's exciting.
Yes.
It's kind of crazy, but it's awesome.
This is gonna be fun. We're prepared. We're prepared. Like, I am actually not home right now. I am at the official, non-official writers' room. And Ken, I see you got oh, Ken, you gotta cover the screen. You have some spoilers back there.
Oh, yes. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm in the other writers' room, which is actually down the hall from you. We just thought this would be kind of like easier if we're both kind of have our own writers' room and talk to each other.
Yeah, so we're in our Los Angeles office right now. We feel like it would be like more. We each got our mic. We're each looking at each other like this. So I'm in the writers' room where we come up with characters. We have some character names back there, character motivations. Ken hasn't made too much progress. He just has the title on the board right now, right?
No, yeah, I'm in the room where we come up with story based on the character. So I'm just waiting on the work out of the characters room. Then my room goes to work. Okay, so we're gonna get there today.
It's a work in progress. We're doing it. So we're so excited to have all of you here. As the title says, as we mentioned, we are going to be writing Cobra Kai season 6, what we think it's going to be, how we want it to be. This has never been done before. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this. Have you?
No, I don't think so. It's interesting, isn't it? It's kind of new territory. It's fun, but kind of scary, but in a good way.
Yeah, I mean, me and you, we have our YouTube channels. We do theories all the time. We make those videos, but we are actually going to compile all of these theories about all our favorite characters, about our favorite storylines, and we are actually going to put it together. And not only are we writing the 6th season, but we are writing the final season of Cobra Kai. So this is going to be a very interesting, not just episode, but as you guys may have seen from the title, this is part 1 of a multi-part series.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of work, a lot of imagination, a lot of collaboration, Drew, between you and me and everyone here, everyone watching. So it's so great to see everyone here joining us today.
Yes, thank you all for joining. Ken, I love what you said. Imagination, that's what it's about. Creativity, imagination. Let's have fun. Let's explore, and let's really get creative, because the brilliant thing about writing and making movies and shows is when you have a pen and a paper, you could put whatever you want on it. Even if you don't film it, it's like when you're writing something, you can come up with whatever you want. You can be as creative as you want. And the possibilities, as Daniel would say in Karate Kid, the possibilities are endless.
Yeah, it's endless.
It's endless. I love it. And we're going to need your help, everybody. So as me and Ken write what we think is going to happen, we're going to go over what today's stream is going to be specifically on, because we're not going to be writing the whole season today. That's not how it works. This is a process. So Ken, do you want to explain what we're going to be doing today? And maybe explain to the viewers out there, because we're calling ourselves a little bit of a writer's room. What is a writer's room, and what will we be doing today?
Okay, so basically a writer's room in a series where a group of writers sit down, writers who are working on the staff, sit down and talk about what's going to happen in an upcoming season. It's kind of a collaborative effort. Everyone kind of comes up with story pitches, and they break the episodes. And then, you might assign episodes to certain writers, that kind of thing. But so today, what we're going to do is we're going to come at this as if we're coming right off of season 5. And Drew, I think what we're going to do is we're going to find out what are those story threads left over from season 5 that have to be dealt with in season 6. And then just go over where all the characters are right now, what they want, kind of their core stories, traits, and going forward, what do they want going forward, and what might throw obstacles, and maybe identify, what elements are already in the show? Like, are there story elements in the show that need to come back, or will we need new complications, new characters, that kind of thing? But like today, we'll just kind of go over everything, so we're all on the same page, and maybe come up with ideas for each storyline. How does that sound?
Sounds perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
So what I love about film and writing is, I think one of the best parts about it is the collaboration, because as much as sometimes you think you know it all, someone else can give you an idea that just builds to it and makes it better and better. And Ken Cole here is a filmmaker himself. He's a writer himself. He's done some projects on his channel. So I have his channel linked below. You can go check him out after the stream, of course.
Thanks,
But
Drew.
of course. So one of the great things is when we come up with ideas, we can build off of each other. We can say, hey, that sounds good. Or, hey, maybe we should do this. And this is going to be a real team effort with me and Ken, and also you guys in the chat. If you guys have any comments, questions, not just about the script, but about just writing and film in general, maybe myself or Ken can help answer. So we're gonna do this together, right?
Yeah, this is gonna be fun, guys. So looking forward to this.
Yes. And before we get into it, I just want to thank Chris Klotz for a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Chris. Hello, Cobra Kai Kid and Ken Cole. Need more Bert in season 6, part 1, and season 6, part 2. I think we can make that happen in our script. What do you think, Ken?
I think anything's possible. More Bert is definitely possible. I like what he's saying, though. Look at that. Part 1 and part 2. So it's Chris anticipating that the season 6 is going to be in 2 parts. You know how series are kind of doing that with final seasons, where you have season 6 part 1, season 6 part 2. That's an interesting idea.
Yeah, and I think, well, that's going to be, if we're going to be writing this season, that's going to be probably a discussion of its own live stream. How many episodes, how many parts are we doing? What's the runtime? And that, I think we're in agreement, we're not going to be doing today, right? Because we want to see all the ideas we have first. And maybe we have so many ideas that we do need 2 parts, or maybe we can get it into 10 episodes. We'll see, right?
Exactly. Yes, totally agree.
Okay, sounds good. And Logan, thank you so much for the super chat. Appreciate you there. Okay, so here's how this is going to work. I am going to pull up Google Doc right there. Make sure, let me know, everyone, if you can see it. I'm sure you can. Ken, you're on it, right?
I'm on it. I've got it here.
Okay, so basically, this is our Google Doc. I'm typing on here. Ken's typing on here. And we are going to be writing season 6 right here. Well, all right. So the first thing that we want to do, Ken, is we want to start with ideas, right?
Right. Yes. Start with ideas, and maybe what we could do is start with, like, what are the cliffhangers from the end of season 5? What are the things we definitely have to deal with in season 6?
Yeah. Okay.
And we can list them right here, so everyone, we're on the same page. We can all kind of stare at it and think about these things that are left hanging and come up with ideas, like, how do we resolve it?
Yeah, I agree. We're going to do that. Okay. So wait, let me see if I can actually, wait, give me 1 second. Let me represent it. Oh, okay. This is better. I'm going to get that's better. Here we go. Okay. So we'll put, how do we want to format this? Ideas? How we want to start it? Ideas?
Yeah,
or
ideas.
You just want, yeah. Okay, let's do ideas.
Ideas, like plot lines still up in the air.
Okay, and we could bullet it. Okay,
sounds perfect.
So do you want to write? Do you want me to write?
I can type if you'd like.
Okay. Okay. Awesome. So right now we're in agreement. We're just gonna throw whatever we can to the wall, right?
Yes. We're gonna take look at each each story thread and maybe come up with ideas if we have them, because sometimes we need to think about things, but if we have ideas to deal with it, we can throw out the ideas and just talk about it.
Yeah, so let's come up with the most obvious things first, the things that we know 100% are gonna happen. So I think the first thing and the most obvious thing we can put down is the Sekai Taikai, right? The World Tournament.
Yes.
Do you know how to spell that?
Yes. I thought I did. Hang on a second.
I think it's, let's see.
Yeah, we're gonna make sure we spell everything correctly, guys.
Yes. And guys, comment in the chat. We're gonna be looking at the chat too. So just comment like what you think. Like, we're just throwing plot ideas out there. So
this is,
what's kind of cool? Cobra Kai.
What's that?
Sekai.
Indeed.
What does Kai mean again? What's the definition?
I feel like I should know this, and I don't. Maybe someone in the chat knows.
I searched it up once. I forgot. Oh wait, what? Wait, Kai and what? Wait. Yeah, I don't even know. What does Kai mean? I see ocean. Oh, a short form of the name Kambe, meaning warrior. That makes sense. Cobra warrior.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, this is a big one, right? Because both the dojos, Cobra Kai and whatever Miyagi-Do, Eagle Fang, whatever they're going to be called, they've been accepted at this point to compete in the Sekai Taikai.
Yeah.
So this is something we definitely have to deal with.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Ken, and you got one in mind?
I do. The big one, probably the biggest one left over from the finale, is Kreese has escaped prison. And he is on the run.
Woo-hoo! I just want like a side story with just him on the run, like a spin-off series. Like
right.
Yeah, that's gonna be the big one. Maybe he leaves the country we know this Sekai Taikai is going to be an international tournament. I mean, I don't know if the US police, the government, are going to be able to track him down if he leaves the country, gets a different identity. I don't know.
Right. I know. I mean, Kreese, special operations, covert operations, like, very good at probably lying low and evading people. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We'll have to come up with what Kreese is up to.
I believe this is the third time in canon that he's faked his own death, right?
Right, exactly. He's good at it.
It's too funny. Twice in Cobra Kai, in the Cobra Kai series, he's faked his death. Amazing.
Indeed. So Drew, oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, I think the next idea that we got to go for is the baby. Johnny and Carmen, they're having a baby. What the heck's gonna happen there?
Yeah, that is huge.
Ken, I think we're on fire so far,
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, already, guys, you can see how much story there is to deal with. And honestly, Drew, that's the interesting thing about season 5. If you look at the end of it, it seems like a lot of things are resolved. It seems like a lot of people are happy, or the people we think of as the good guys are happy and resolved and stuff, but there's still a lot of story to deal with here.
100%.
And yeah, and we're just kind of scratching the surface. So yeah, we've got Johnny and Carmen's baby, right? That's Carmen's pregnant. What does that mean? You know? Let's see, what else? And we'll come up with ideas for dealing with all these things for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But before you name the next thing, I just wanted to let everyone know that Ken and I were talking about this the other day. These are the general ideas that we're listing, but what's going to be really cool is, as we keep going with this, we're going to really be fleshing these out, because each of these ideas. Like there needs to be conflict, there needs to be development. What are the characters going to go through? What are they going to experience? So we have these general ideas that we're going to really flesh out, and it's going to be like really cool. So within these general topics, we're going to make subtopics and dive further and further. We're going to do that later, but right now, yeah, we're just throwing ideas to the wall. So I just wanted to let everyone know that because I'm excited.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Our minds and imaginations can run wild here. That's the great thing. Okay, so what else do we have, Drew? What else is kind of hanging out there after the end of season 5?
Do you have anything in mind?
Well, what's interesting to me is the Mike Barnes character.
Ooh.
That whole thing, I think, maybe we need to talk about in depth a little later, because there are some things that don't necessarily add up on the face of it that we probably need to dive into. But I mean, he's basically, we have the Storm on the Sea of Galilee, the Rembrandt painting that Mike stole from Terry Silver. Okay. And if he's going to turn that in, collect reward money, that painting was stolen from the Gardner Museum in Boston, Massachusetts. That's where, of course, the next Karate Kid takes place. But the thing is, like, what's going to happen? And maybe this is the bigger point. Chosen, Johnny, and Mike Barnes, like, committed crimes. They trespassed. I mean, in the legal sense, they trespassed into Terry Silver's home. Like, they got into major fights. Does that all just go away? Or is there going to be some kind of repercussion from that the characters will have to deal with?
That's a good point. It's a tough question because there's been a lot of crime in Cobra Kai, and a lot of characters tend to get away with certain things. And also, when we look at it from a story perspective, on a logistical perspective, that makes perfect sense. They did commit crimes. They should be going to jail. But from a story perspective, with setting up the Sekai Taikai and Kreese escaping jail and the dojos now teaming up, are they really going to go there with like sending Mike, Johnny, and Chosen to prison and now having to get them out, like another prison story? Do they really want to put those characters in prison and add a new element like that? Or do they maybe just want to skip over that and focus on the other important stuff?
Well, let me take that. I think you make exactly wonderful points. Let me take that and flip that. Terry is the one right now who's in custody. So let's put it on him. Okay, so basically, is that a hanging story thread? The fact that Terry Silver is in custody, is that something we're going to have to deal with in season 6?
Yes, and you know what? I think this is what I'm gonna write this down here, because I think this is a story thread that a lot of people might have think has ended, but I'm just gonna say right here, and if you want to elaborate on this, we can. But I just want to put this here: we have not seen the last. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's fine. I think there's basically, here's my sense. We haven't seen the last of Terry Silver, and that means he, I'm sure, is not happy that he's been taken into custody, and he is not happy about what transpired at the end of season 5. I'm sure he feels very upset by what Daniel, Chosen, Johnny, and Mike Barnes did. So I think that is a storyline that will need to play out. Like, Terry, I'm sure, will want there to be consequences for everything that's happened to him.
Yeah, I 100% agree. So do you want to, is there a, what can we write down for that? Or do you just want to leave it there? Just Terry Silver, we haven't seen the last of him. Or is there anything else we can be a little more specific on?
I think maybe that's good for now, because we can go into each of these and kind of like dissect and analyze, like, what are our ideas for dealing with this?
Yeah.
And so, yes, I think we agree that Terry Silver is a hanging a hanging storyline that we need to deal with.
Yeah, I honestly think this is good for now because it's not as cemented as the Sekai Taikai, for example. Like we don't necessarily have any evidence that Terry Silver will get out of jail. You know what I mean? That's all
Right.
speculation. But as
Right.
for Kreese escaping, Johnny Carmen's baby, the Sekai Taikai, we know that's gonna happen. And I'm sure we can assume that Terry Silver is gonna be in the season, so we could leave it there.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Okay. Let's see. Do you have any other big story points?
Hmm. We're just going out of order, so whatever comes to mind. I think
Sure.
oh, I think we need a wedding. What would you say about that?
Right. So and that kind of goes along with maybe Johnny and Carmen's baby, the family wedding, new
I
family.
I think a wedding is key, and I'll explain why. I've been saying this for the longest time. I think by having a wedding, especially with this being the final season of Cobra Kai, 100% that like in the final season they want to bring everyone together. Like right? Like
Right.
they want to bring as many people as they can back. How can you bring back Allie? How can you bring back Bobby and Jimmy? Like, what's a way of bringing them back without it being like too forced? A wedding where all these people connected to the lives of Johnny, Carmen, and even Daniel, how do they come back into the story? A wedding is a great way of bringing back all these beloved characters. And then you can get characters like we could get Homeless Lynn in there. We could get
Right.
Lyle, the pawn shop guy. We could bring all these characters back, and it's a great way to end the season in a satisfying way. And like, it's also a perfect arc for Johnny's character. We're going to get more into that, like the arc of from seasons 1 to 6. But talk about Johnny Lawrence at the beginning of season 1, terrible dad, a drunk, and now at the final season, he's getting married and having a family. I mean, what a perfect arc that would be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And if I can add, while we're
Yeah.
on the subject of love,
Ooh.
we also potentially have
Oh, I know where you're
some
going here.
unresolved storyline between Chosen and Kumiko,
Yes. Oh,
right?
that was pretty cool when he revealed that. That was I did not expect that. I was a little taken back by that. I was like, "Oh, shoot."
Exactly. I know. I mean, I'm not saying they're going to do a double wedding. I'm not saying that, but that's possible, right?
And then like Daniel and Amanda get remarried.
Oh yeah, it's going to be just one huge wedding.
It's like a
Then
Fuller House scenario. I don't know if you ever seen Fuller House.
oh, Fuller House, yeah.
Where they all get married at the end.
Yes. They may do that, they may not. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you could have like an epic wedding. I mean, in Okinawa. I mean, why not? I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you're right. You're right. Family weddings hugely important. We've got Chosen Kumiko. That's still out there. That was brought up in season 5. Let's see. What other threads do you think we have?
I got one.
Mhm.
I think there was a little debate as to whether or not this would happen this season or the next season. But now that we know that this is the final season, it's got to
Mhm.
happen this season. I think we got to get Julie Pierce in there. I think we got to get
Okay.
Hillary Swank. And I do want to acknowledge that Hillary Swank is pregnant right now. She is having a
Mhm.
baby. However, why does that have to stop her from being in the show? Doesn't mean she has to do karate, you know?
Right. Right. And I've talked with a few people on KenCast about this, and it seems like everyone's in agreement that it shouldn't, like, if Hillary Swank wants to be on and there's a part for Julie Pierce, they can make it happen. No
Yeah,
question. Because
100%.
I think she's supposed to have her babies in April, and
Mm,
they're not slated to start shooting until maybe late May or June, and it'll last like all summer. And Peter from Cobra Kai Companion made a good point that all the Okinawa scenes in season 3 were shot after the rest of the season. So it was even after that they went back and shot the Okinawa scene. So I'm sure they will accommodate Hilary Swank's schedule if she wants to be part of it. They will make it happen, Drew.
They will.
Oh
They
yeah,
will. They have to.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if they don't, we will.
That's right.
That's what we're doing
we're
here.
writing season 6. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We're assuming we can do whatever we need to do as far as like cast and money and budget and everything.
Exactly. I'm 100% with you. Ken, you got anything else there's still so much.
Right. Well, a thread that's been going through this, and I'm not sure it needs a resolution, but from Tori's perspective, I mean, her mom, she's been taking care of her
Ooh.
mom, and that has been a major source of like her character's motivations, why she does what she does. So that's still out there. Maybe not a major storyline, but hopefully someone can help her, and but yeah, maybe I'll just put that down. It's kind of a minor one, but
No,
Tori's
I
mom.
I 100% agree with that. I think there's a couple elements with that. If maybe I don't know if you want to like write these down next to it, like you have the aunt who's trying to get the money, and
Right.
you have what's gonna happen with she has a brother, what's gonna happen with the brother. Yeah, so the mom, the aunt, the brother, and yeah, like where is she gonna like what's she gonna do?
Right. Right. Exactly. What is she gonna do? I don't know. So now we can kind of get into like we can maybe start to think about all kinds of different stories. Though I'm wondering if we are these the ones that we really need to deal with as far as like if you're watching season 6, you need an answer to these storylines. Or are there other like really pressing storylines that we need to deal with?
I wouldn't say this is it's not a pressing storyline, but I do think that one of the things that has been kind of set up for the past 2 seasons that I think we all are waiting for an answer is what is well, actually, I think I have 2.
Okay.
The first one I'm going to say is what is the future of Cobra Kai? That's something I think that's got to be answered. Would you say that? Would you agree?
Yeah, it's the name of the show.
It's the name of the show.
Yeah, I mean, we started with Johnny restarting Cobra Kai the way he wanted to do it, of all the things that Cobra Kai gave to him. But then Kreese took over, then Terry took over. And what is Cobra Kai? Is Cobra Kai going to be redeemed? What happens with the show? Does Johnny have any interest in taking Cobra Kai back? Is it kind of out there for other people to try to take over? Is it something to be defeated? Yeah. What's the future? Because it is the name of the show and it never dies.
It never dies. And I'm gonna add one more to that. What is the name of Daniel and Johnny's combined dojo?
Oh yeah,
that's a big one. I mean, we know that they've been kind of teasing that for a while, and I think it's going to be a little more elaborate than Miyagi Fang. I don't think they're going to do that. It kind of sounds ridiculous. Like imagine going to a world tournament. It's like, what's your dojo name? And you have Cobra Kai, and it's like we're Miyagi Fang. Like, what the heck is that? But I'm so used to it by now. It's
Yeah, I know it's fun. It's kind of fun. It's fun, but yeah, it's something that if Mr. Miyagi heard it, you could see him maybe kind of shake his head a little bit.
Oh God, he'd be like,
funny.
"Oh God, Daniel-san."
Yes, indeed. I love those. That's great. That's absolutely great. Okay, so I think this is a good list. Should we go through and talk about these things that need resolution? Oh, did you think of something else?
Sorry, I saw some people in the chat bringing up a great point. Kim Da-eun.
Yes.
I think we could put
her in Future of Cobra Kai, maybe. Like under that storyline.
And I don't know if you want to include this on because it isn't necessarily confirmed,
Right.
but based on what's been set up with the flashbacks and with Kreese getting out of jail, I think there is a big possibility of a Kim Da-eun Kreese uh
Hmm.
something.
Right.
I don't know if you want to include that on here, if you want to wait on that.
We can let's yeah, you know what? I'm thinking what we could do is go through each of these points and talk about our ideas for how we could go forward.
Mm,
Yeah, and maybe when we get to this one, the future of Cobra Kai and Kim Da-eun, we can talk about this and see if it intersects with this Kreese's escape from prison and is on the run. Because
definitely.
those might come together.
It all ties in.
Yes.
It's all
Yes, indeed.
connected.
All connected. That's
Okay.
right.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, a lot of these things here, I'm so excited. Most of these things here are probably going to occur towards the end of the season. I think we could agree on, right? So yeah. So what's gonna be
Yeah, maybe so.
cool? Yeah, I would say like towards the late in the later half or the end. So what's gonna be cool is now to backtrack and to really dive deep and explore how we get to this point, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, that's great. Do you wanna go through, like, each one and kind of, like, talk about each one?
Let's begin.
Let's begin. Nice.
All right,
Alright,
let's do it.
guys. Thank you for all the amazing comments too. We're watching all those comments as well. So the Sekai Taikai, that you would think, right, kind of like what you're saying, would happen towards the end of the season. But regardless of when it happens, this was a big motivator for Terry Silver. This was also something that Terry Silver used to get Kim Da-eun interested in running Cobra Kai. The idea that winning the Sekai Taikai would make the way of the fist sort of the style in the world. It would ensure Cobra Kai would go on forever. So this really ties into a lot of people's motivations. Some might call them villains for what happens. So my question to you, Drew, is as we kind of talk about this, they've been offered a spot, both of them, in the Sekai Taikai, but it seems like a lot of scandalous actions happened in the finale of season 5. Do you think that everything that transpired, the brawl, the with the senseis and the students, all of that stuff, the arrest, or it looked like an arrest of Terry Silver, um, is that going to impact the committee's decision on the Sekai Taikai of whether they want these dojos involved in their tournament? Because it seems like that's a lot of sort of dirty baggage for the tournament, and they went through such a stringent approval process to qualify that it seems like there's a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct that happened at the end of season 5. Do you think that's something that would be an obstacle to get there, or do you think that will kind of disappear?
Great question. I
Yeah.
think that I think there will be a little bit of an obstacle with that. I don't think they're just gonna jump right into it and be like, "Oh no, Cobra Kai's fine. We could just enter the tournament." But I mean, honestly, if I were them, I would just change the name of it, just so you don't have to deal with like that name, like which has been tied down to Silver going to jail. But we know we got it. A Cobra Kai has to be in this tournament. There has to be a Cobra Kai
Right.
dojo in this world tournament. It would be a little strange to have the tournament and none of the dojos being called Cobra Kai. We might get a little bit of a mirror with Kreese in season 3, episode 8, how he convinced the city council to let the All Valley resume. He might work his magic from overseas or wherever the tournament is and get Cobra Kai in there. Like they'll probably all be wondering what happened to Sensei Silver, what's going on there. I don't know how far they're willing to go with that storyline, but I think there needs to be some explanation. Who's going to be running Cobra Kai? Is it going to be Kreese and Kim Da-eun? Who are the students going to be? That's going to be big story points this season.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Okay, yeah. So I would agree with you, kind of like in the general sense, there's probably going to need to be some convincing of what's going on with Cobra Kai and the conduct. And you're right, Kreese, if he's involved again, might have to make a case. Um, and I don't know. Do we talk about that? Do you want to go right into the next one, which is Kreese has escaped prison and is on the run? Because that's kind of tying exactly to what we're talking about. Like, what's going to happen? Is Kreese going to evade the law? Is he? So, do you have any ideas right now of what's happening? I think I have some ideas, but do you have any ideas about Kreese?
I'm gonna let you go for it. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Let's hear it.
Okay. So here's an idea that after watching the finale of season 5 again, okay, it's very interesting that Kim Da-eun and Terry Silver were at his house, and Kim Da-eun, if you notice throughout season 5, she you know, kind of works with Terry Silver. She questions him. Sometimes she actually tells him what to do. I think she's in this because she wants to extend her grandfather's legacy. That's her goal and that's her point. And I think Terry Silver is a means to an end and she's working with him. But if you see, especially in the finale, she is questioning him like, how are you dealing with these people, who are challenging, us? And Terry's like, oh, I'll send a message, I'm not concerned, or I'm not worried about it. And she seems to be. But notice she's the one watching the camera coming in like of the front gate. She's the one who has that. It's almost like she's expecting to see something, right? Now this and it's kind of odd to me how Mike Barnes just kind of flipped and immediately it was his idea. It was his idea to go to Terry Silver's house right then. Right then. He flipped on a dime. Okay. And he's like, we've got to go to Terry Silver's house right now. So I'm wondering if Mike Barnes might be tied in with Kim Da-eun somehow. And that and notice that Mike Barnes was basically knocked out during that entire fight. And Mike Barnes stole from Terry Silver. So regardless of the Mike Barnes angle, and we could get into details on that. Yeah. If we can get into that later, I think it's entirely possible that Kim Da-eun has been having designs on Cobra Kai since she agreed to take part. I think she wants to take over. She wants to call the shots. I think she thinks she knows better than Terry Silver how to run Cobra Kai. And I think for her, it's bigger than Cobra Kai, which is just something that Kreese and Terry Silver created. She wants the way of the fist to be the dominant fighting style. Her grandfather, Kim Sun-young's fighting style. So I think she wants to be in charge. So I agree that she may have had contact. It's interesting that Kreese, we'll get back to Kreese. He escaped from prison. But before that, it's like he completely shut down contact with TORY immediately. And he's like, you got to take care of yourself, go away. And then he escapes from prison and he seemed really happy about it. I wonder if there is some kind of plan that Kim Da-eun and Kreese might have known about what's going on. And Kim Da-eun maybe learned about what happened to Kreese and they're already kind of maybe in contact. And maybe Kreese's plan is to link up with Kim Da-eun right out of prison because she would be able to get him maybe out of trouble, like take him out of the country, that type of thing. So yeah, that's an idea. Maybe my idea is that Kreese and Kim Da-eun might already kind of be aware of each other and they will link up pretty quickly. And Kreese will swoop in to try and restore the good name of Cobra Kai after Terry Silver has been put in prison, because that's Kreese's, what Kreese wants. And I guess we can talk about this too. Kreese wants Cobra. He is Cobra Kai. That's his life's goal. And he told Terry, you're going to regret this. And he told Johnny, Silver's going down. So I think that's his goal. His number one goal is to make Cobra Kai his legacy. So I think he would gladly do that with Kim Da-eun. Of course, we saw in the flashbacks that, they had maybe a little bit of a closer relationship than Terry Silver and Kim Da-eun. Anyway, there you go. What do you think? And what's your idea?
Well, first off, just need to process all that. You just dumped a lot of info on me. I'm like, I'm blown away. No, I'm blown away. I'm like, wow. like you had that. Like that was like I like how you're like, oh, I just have an idea, and then you're like, Kim Da-eun, Mike Barnes, like you've thought about this.
Yeah. I know. I'm a fan. But like it's just some ideas, and just throwing that out there. And I don't know, what do you think? Because you brought up this idea of Kreese and Kim Da-eun getting together as well.
I like it. My big thing is like, I do think they're gonna get together, but I don't think Kreese and Kim Da-eun are cut out to. I mean, I don't know that. I think that's where they might go, but I don't know if they're cut out to be the main villains of the show. Like, I think Terry's like, when you have Terry Silver in there, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's the top dog. I'm not afraid of Kreese. He's like, like, he's already going to a redemption arc. Kim Da-eun, I feel like, is a very one-note villain character who I can't see her being the number one antagonist of the show. I don't know. That's where my mind is at. I'm not sure.
Okay. Well,
what do you think?
I hear you. I'm wondering if, for instance, okay, let's look at Kim Da-eun. So, like, for instance, she, Alicia Hannah Kim, obviously, I think did an amazing job playing her. And I think there's story there. There's a motivation for her to want to be the top dog. Like, I think it is, from her character's perspective, she has a mission, and I think what we've seen from her is that she is perfectly happy telling everyone what to do. Now, what that might leave the door open to is maybe Kreese tries to side with Kim Da-eun, if he is not already working with her. Maybe he tries to work with her a bit, because she might be the one running Cobra Kai. If Terry's in custody or away for now, she would be the one running Cobra Kai. So maybe that's something to kind of talk about too when we talk about the future of Cobra Kai. Is she would be the one right now who would be in control of Cobra Kai, right? She owns 50%. It's kind of hers to do. She can do what she wants with it. I don't know. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I think she's definitely going to be running it. I do want to oh, you know what? I'm going to put another thing right here.
Yes.
With her running it, and with everyone having left the dojo, I think something really important this season is new antagonists, kids.
Okay.
Like, we need new Cobra Kai students, new threats, because yes, we have Kim Da-eun and Kreese who could be antagonists to Daniel and Johnny, but if TORY is going to be working with Sam, if Kenny's going to be working with them, we need bringing some people from across the country, like, or from like overseas, bringing some. I mean, we already got a glimpse with the sensei. Is like, I've been training under Master Kim Sung Young my whole life, like,
right.
So it's like, you could get, instead of senseis, we got the senseis. Let's get some kids in there. Let's get some, like, and what's so cool is, like, the senseis were already trained. They're already, like, like, amazing martial artists. You can bring in kids who are already skilled and talented, and you don't have, it's not like they have to go through a Miguel arc where they have to train. Like, they are already big threats, possibly even more powerful than Miguel and Robbie and TORY. And that would be a great introduction. I think that would be a great story thread.
So you're saying that what they might do is bring in the way Terry Silver brought in Mike Barnes in Karate Kid 3. He was, like, already at the top of his game. like he was already winning tournaments, and they brought him in to fight Daniel in Karate Kid 3. You're saying they could kind of do the same thing, like bring in new kids who already have the skills.
100%.
And yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
I think that's not even like a guess. I think they need to, because right now there's nobody to rival the kids. There's nobody. Who's there?
right. Now, okay, so let me ask you this. Is there a way to have some kind of personal connection between the new antagonists and the kids? Is it possible that any of the kids that we've seen would go back and fight for Cobra Kai?
I hope not. I hope not. I think I feel like that's not where the story has progressed. I feel like any form of that would just be like backtracking. I think it's important for this world tournament to have everybody on the same page. This isn't like a all valley karate tournament where now Robbie's joined the bad guys. This is more like we're in this together. We have to put our crap aside, and this is where we come together and really unite for one common goal. I don't know if I want to see the redemption arc, like with I don't want like one of our beloved characters going to Cobra Kai, and I feel like they've all already done that, except like
Right,
Dimitri or something,
right.
So I feel like it would just be retreading old story threads, and I think there's a bigger focus, but I do think I mean I do like the idea that because it would bring more conflict, it would bring more drama, but yeah, but that's a good question. I want to ask you that. How do you think? Because let's be honest, the senseis that came in from the fist, I mean,
Right,
they were badass, but we couldn't give a crap about them because we
right,
had no emotional connection to them. It wasn't like we knew these guys. It's just like we're here, we're bad. We're gonna be some guys to fight. But do you think that's gonna be the same with the kid, with the antagonist for the kids, or do you think they'll have some sort of like why will Miguel and Robbie and Sam hate these kids other than they're just bad? Will it get personal?
right. Well, and I think what you're saying, this is a really good point, and we should really talk about it too, because I think you've brought this up before.
Mhm.
The idea of with the Sakai Taikai, the world tournament, why at this point would they need to go? Why would if everyone's kind of agreed that Cobra Kai sucks, everyone leaves Cobra Kai, like why is it important anymore to even go compete in the Sakai Taikai? Because it looks like right now, it looks like Terry Silver's defeated, his dojo's defeated, and everyone has agreed that they suck. So what is it that will make them compete in the world tournament? Is it just so that they can maybe prove that they're the best? Or are there some stakes to it? Are there personal stakes?
Mm.
And I think maybe if we can figure out what the personal stakes would be, it would be easy if there are maybe some characters we care about that are kind of sucked into that situation. Or if there's a reason why some of the characters we love and know, the good guys, in order to defend themselves, they need to compete in this tournament. But like, what are the stakes besides like just this abstract? We can't let like Kim Da-eun, the Way of the Fist, or Cobra Kai be like the most popular in the world. Like, we can't let them have that reputation or something. Like, are there personal stakes that we can think of as to why they would continue to compete in that tournament?
Hmm.
And that might be a puzzle that we have to think. Maybe we'll come up with that as we're writing.
Yeah, I think that's a great point that you brought up, because that is something that they actually didn't, by having Terry go to jail and by having Cobra Kai exposed, it does pose that question of, yeah, what's the point of entering the tournament? Obviously, we know there's going to be a tournament, but that's going to be something that we learn in season 6. So when we're writing our outline, we actually are going to have to figure out how does Cobra Kai come back from this, and how do they compete in the tournament? Because yes, Daniel and Johnny have no reason to enter this tournament. We are going to have to write the reason for them to be in the tournament. How does Cobra Kai enter, and how does it get back to that point? I mean, if episode 1 of season 6, Cobra Kai is done, I don't even, what's the point of training? I mean, maybe they're just doing it for fun. I mean, do you think Johnny like really would be training his dojo for this world tournament when he has a baby on the way? Like, you think maybe he'd want to make some money, focus on that. But we need some stakes. Why does he need to take time away from Carmen and the baby to focus on the tournament? Like, that's what we're going to have to figure out.
Yes. And I think the more personal we can make it, the better. Like this, I think if this is going to be about the biggest season yet, if it's going to be, the stakes have to be high and they have to be personal and they have to be the biggest stakes yet, I think we have to think of big things, big reasons why it would be so important to everyone to compete in this tournament. Where you can't look away. You are totally on board with them competing. Yeah, we need to, and I have some ideas of some things that could happen. But yes. So you brought up Johnny and Carmen and the baby. So how do you see this playing out, or what's your impression of this playing out? And I guess the question is too, a lot of people have talked about a time jump. Are we going to start season 6 like right after the end of season 5, or is there going to be like a time jump? And I guess that would affect obviously the baby, because that might mean that Carmen hasn't had the baby yet versus she has had the baby. If there's a time jump.
Yeah, I think she shouldn't have the baby off screen. I feel like that would kind of be, what the heck?
Yes. I kind of agree. And I know that people have talked about, the actors, especially young actors, are getting older, and it's going to be a long time between filming. But the thing is, we've had that before. We've had big jumps between the seasons, and we've seen the actors grow, and we've kind of accepted it.
Exactly.
Even though, and so I don't think that's really a consideration. And I think that it might kind of take away the narrative tension to just do a time jump, because then it's almost like you have to restart story again. Like, why was there this delay? And so yeah, I agree. So basically, we see Carmen at the beginning of season 6, and she is still pregnant. It might be just days or weeks after the end of season 5, right?
Yeah. I think I'm gonna actually say it's a tough one. It's a tough one because each season. I don't know. Do we talk about that now, or like how many? Like,
this is all about just spitballing ideas.
Okay, so the question is, after Terry goes to jail, Kreese escapes prison, because technically, we don't actually. You know what? I am gonna ask you this because I think this is an important question. If we are writing season 6, we need to figure out timeline. That's a key thing. So let me ask you. At the end of season 5, we have the police officer tell Daniel and Johnny, "Oh, you didn't hear what happened to John Kreese," referring to the fact that he died. So the question is, when he escaped,
right?
Obviously, in the show, we see that like 1 second after. But in terms of timeline, Ken, my question for you is, when did that actually happen?
Yeah. Okay. I'm under the impression that the detective would have told Johnny and Daniel that Kreese had escaped, because that whole incident where they thought Kreese was attacked and they thought he died, they immediately took him down to the doctor. They immediately tried to, quote, save his life. And at that point, he assaulted them and he escaped. So that would have all happened in a very quick time. So by the time the detectives would have learned about that, they would have learned that he kind of faked an injury and then escaped. So they would know that he isn't dead. So so I think that everyone knows that Kreese has escaped at that point.
Oh, so you don't think he was referring to the fact of like, wait, you didn't hear what happened to John Kreese? Like you're not saying that he was referring to the fact that he was dead. You're referring to the fact that he escaped.
Yes. Yes, because all of that
Hmm.
happened so quickly. Um, they thought he was injured. They thought he was dead and immediately brought him to the doctor. But then the doctor and the guard were assaulted. Kreese took them down. So by the time anyone went down to check on them, it wasn't that Kreese was dead. He was gone. And these people were assaulted. So so I think by the time anyone else in the police force or the prison system heard that entire story, it's that he was attacked, but he is gone, and the doctor is injured, and he is missing from prison.
The doctor is naked and injured
Right,
because Kreese
exactly,
took all his clothes.
exactly.
So
Yep,
do you think that because I mean the way the detective said it, like you didn't hear what happened, like
right,
it sounded like he's was about to break the death to them.
right.
Do you think that
And
was intentional?
I think it was in that moment because we as the audience were meant to think that he died. You know, given the teaser of that finale, we thought that Kreese had died. But yeah, I'm like 99% sure that he would have like just in shock told them like, did you hear what happened? That Kreese basically faked being injured and then escaped. Because that's another thing. It's like when Johnny says, hopefully, that Silver and Kreese will be cellmates. You know, that would be you didn't hear what happened. Kreese is gone. You know, and that would probably make them. You know, if the detective was overhearing the conversation between Daniel and Johnny, he was probably be like, "Whoa, dudes, you think you're safe from Kreese? You're not. He's out again."
So now the question is, based on that, we're probably not going to see like there's not going to be a scene in season 6 where Daniel and Johnny find out. They already know. Maybe they just
They
see it
know,
on the news and they're like I can't believe that happened.
right? Exactly, right. So I think that's a great point. Number one, that is a source of tension. The end of season 5 was kind of happy for all those characters, right? Chosen was alive. Everyone was kind of happy that Silver was behind bars. Mike Barnes got his Rembrandt. All the kids made up. Miguel and Sam back together. Tori and Robbie, you know, together. Um, but that I think is one source of tension at the beginning of season 6, the fact that Kreese is out and he's somewhere. And that kind of adds an element of danger because they don't
Mm.
know what's going on, where's Kreese, what's he going to do? Um and so that lets us like go right into the next season, I think, with an element of danger.
I like it. I like it. Yeah, you don't know where, like, who is he going to go? Is he going to even try and see anybody? Who do you
Right.
think it between Tori and Johnny? Who do you think he would try and go see? Probably Tori.
Probably, yeah, probably Tori.
Johnny hates his guts.
Right. Right. He'd probably go see Tori. It's interesting to think what Kreese might do. And so there's that idea that, you know, okay, Kreese is aware of Kim Daeun and he might just go to see her, but he might not trust that yet. You're right. He hasn't seen her in so many years.
Mhm.
He might just go to the people he trusts and he knows. And Tori would be one, even though she was kind of angry at him. You know, maybe he thinks, yeah, she won't she won't turn me in. You know, so you're right. Johnny might be dangerous because
Oh yeah.
I mean, geez, like look at what Daniel and Johnny did to him. Like
Messed up.
they, yeah, that's really kind of messed up. That's like, I don't think Kreese would forgive that, or you know, he would be very upset. I think with both of them. So, um, there are some other possibilities. Um, Mike Barnes is in the picture, and Kreese knows Mike Barnes. Kreese trained Mike Barnes in Karate Kid 3.
Mm.
And if he talks with Tori, he could learn about Mike Barnes being involved. and Mike Barnes is a good fighter. He might try to talk to Mike Barnes and see if Mike will help him and try to convince Mike that, look what Terry did to me. He put me in prison. I didn't do anything wrong, and we got to stop this from happening. That's someone else he could talk to. I don't know. Can you think of anyone else who Kreese would go to?
Doesn't have too many people.
No,
not really.
I have an outside idea, maybe that he could also try to get a hold of Colonel Dugan. That's if we ever want to bring in Colonel Dugan. But like my idea, I did a couple videos on this. I like the idea. I don't know if this is how they intended it, but that Colonel Dugan was actually in that POW camp. That we saw young Colonel Dugan already in those flashbacks, and that Dugan knows Kreese and Silver already in that very, very trying time, in the POW camps. So that would be an instant, very strong connection. And that might also be the reason that Dugan is so unhinged, because we saw him kill his, if my idea is correct, we saw him kill his soldier friend, compatriot in that pit. And so Dugan is kind of a wild card, but he might really look up to Kreese because he saw Kreese stand in for Terry Silver. Like Kreese, they picked Terry, but Kreese said, I'll go. And he was his captain and he went to fight. Or he was his, superior and he went to fight the captain. So Dugan, if he witnessed that, might have a lot of respect for Kreese and almost no respect for Terry Silver because he was a coward. And that could set up some interesting tensions. That's someone else, maybe. That's like an outside shot if we want to have fun and do kind of like an unexpected twist.
Yeah. I like that. I like that. I just it's so interesting. Just that's what we're gonna have to figure out with how much time are we gonna devote to these characters if we are gonna bring back someone from not the original films, but the next Karate Kid, which isn't as known. That's the thing. Next Karate Kid isn't as known, and to bring in Dugan's not gonna be that big. He's not gonna have that big intro like Silver did. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that'll be interesting. But I want to see it. I want to see him in. Like we can we're making the season. Let's put it in. Let's put him in there if we can.
Yeah. Definitely. And that's the thing, like, right, we're going to talk about these ideas, but really we just want to include the ones that eventually serve the story. And I mean, if we've got the bones of a good story, we don't want to introduce elements that like distract from that or take away from that. But if somehow Colonel Dugan or someone helps, then, why not?
Yeah. I just have to point out, I see James Hayward in the chat. James is a location scouter for Cobra Kai. He's a real location scouter for Cobra Kai.
Nice. Hi, James.
We have him in the chat here. That's awesome. What's
Very
up,
cool.
James? Thank you for joining. Would love to speak to Drew, but he don't think he's looking at the chat too much. Here I am looking at the chat. I think you've been here for a little bit, but I just saw you. Sorry.
We've been so caught up. Yeah, thank you.
We've been caught up, but yeah, thank you all. We are gonna get to comments. We're just we're on a roll. We're on a roll. We're chatting it up. Let's see. Wait, we got Talking Straight with Nate. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Maybe when the prison finds out what happened, Daniel can make a should have checked his pulse joke. I seen that being in the teaser. Yeah, that'd be pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny. Thank you for the super chat. So, wow, only feels like already been an hour. Only feels like 10 minutes. Yeah, I agree. It's going by quick.
Yes.
Oh, wait, whoa. I was talking a little bit ago what I have in my mind regarding the location for the Sekai Taikai. Wait, what did you say? Wait, we gotta James, what did you say? That's pretty important stuff, right?
It is. It kind of confirms that the world tournament, the Sekai Taikai, will probably feature in season 6. That's really exciting. That's good.
Oh my god. confirmation right there. Scroll up the chat. I don't know if I can go that far up. Can I? I don't want
Let's
to.
see.
Let me know if you see it.
Okay, let's see.
Where did he say? Oh my god, it's like an endless.
I know, guys. This is so amazing. So many amazing comments.
You guys are amazing. You guys are great. Thank you. I see some super chats. You know, let me, Ken, if you don't mind looking for James's comment while I answer some super chats. Is that cool?
Okay, hang on. Yes,
Oh,
I've got it.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I think it's 9:56 a.m. If you can look at
Oh,
around that time.
oh, no, okay, which is 12:50.
Oh yeah, 12:56 where you are.
Oh, that's awesome. It says the time. Cool. Got it. Okay. I have in my head like an Enter the Dragon sort of location for the
Ooh.
Sekai Taikai. Not saying this will happen, but that's where my thoughts are right now.
Wow. Hey, can I just say, James, like that is amazing. That's epic. I love it.
Wait, I am so sorry, everybody. I've never seen that. Never seen Enter the Dragon.
And that's, guys, if you haven't seen it, totally watch it. That's like a must watch Bruce Lee movie. It was his final movie. Well, full movie that he intended to release. Definitely check it out. That is like gold standard. And yeah, look at that location, and just what James is thinking is absolutely amazing.
Wait a second. Let me pull up what. Are you talking about like this? Wait, let me get it. Let me get it here. Are you talking about like this? You see it?
Yes, that courtyard.
That's what he's referring to?
Yeah, like basically yes, like an ancient location.
Oh my
outside.
wait. What? So like rather like because this whole time I was picturing like a stadium. Like an indoor stadium. You wait, he's saying it's gonna be something like this?
That's what he's thinking right now. Yes, something epic. Yeah.
Oh my, that is actually insane. That is way better. Way better than like a stadium. Like temple ruins. Like this? Holy crap. If we get this, I will lose my crap. That will be awesome. Holy, oh my god. Wow. Like, yeah, like outside would be sick. Oh, wow. Okay, like this, Ken?
Oh yeah.
That would
Like
be
really,
dope.
really going epic. Like we're in another world right now. We are not in the valley anymore.
Oh my god. Yeah. I want that. I want that. I want that 100%. No, like a stadium would be cool, but like this is more focused. Oh god, and everyone's standing around. It's like Gladiator, just like oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so now we got some ideas for our script. There we go.
There we go. I love it. I love it.
Awesome. Okay. Ken, do you want to now go over what is the next step? Do you want to keep reviewing our ideas, or do you want to start going over character motivations? How do you want to go about this?
Well, let's, because we're kind of like, as we're talking about these ideas, we're naturally getting into character motivation. So why don't we kind of go through like the main characters and just talk about where they're at and, what they want at this point. And are there any potential complications or obstacles that already exist to what they want? Or maybe we can introduce new obstacles as we go forward.
I like that. I don't like that. I'm very particular about fonts. I don't know how you are with that. or highlights and all that.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So I think our first character, maybe like I feel like this is the obvious one. right?
Johnny Lawrence.
All right, I'll hand it over to you if you want to take the reins with this one,
Okay.
with the typing. I'm gonna scroll this down here. There we go. Okay.
So Johnny is interesting, right? He at the end of season 5, it seems as though he has what he wants, right? He's got his life's back in order. It seems as though Cobra Kai's gone down. I think aside from Kreese maybe escaping from prison, everything else is, he has a family, he has a baby on the way. He was able to defeat his enemies to protect Carmen and the baby. He has Miguel and Robbie are not fighting anymore. Things are looking good for Johnny, and so I think he has what he wants. Maybe number one, you have Kreese on the run. That kind of complicates things a little bit. But I think if you told Johnny right now, hey, you guys aren't in the Sekai Taikai anymore, I think he'd be cool with that. Like he's probably in a good state right now as of the end of season 5. And we already saw it earlier in season 5 that he was kind of willing to kind of let things go. He just wanted to focus on his family. And he got back in when he saw the personal threat to like Daniel and everyone else. And he got back involved to stand up to Terry Silver, but they did that. Mm-hmm. So I think what he wants now is his family, to protect his family. He's looking forward to, marrying Carmen, and he's looking forward to the new baby. I think that's probably his priority right now. And I don't know. What do you think, Drew? Would you agree? Is there something else that he might be wanting?
I 100% agree with you. And I just want to also mention for everyone out there listening, what we're going to be doing with these characters. And this is, in film and storytelling, it's very important when you have characters. And listen, I'm not comparing us to John, Josh, and Hayden, but this is what John, Josh, and Hayden and the Cobra Kai writers, this is what they do when they're writing the story. They come up with, they write down all the characters. We're going to be kind of mirroring that. We're writing down the characters. We're writing down what these characters want. Like, what is their goal? Like, that's, the key for the story, because we want to we're so connected with Johnny, and because we love Johnny, we want to see him accomplish his goal. But as we all know, a good story, it can't be that easy. He wants to have a baby with Carmen. He wants to get married. He wants to be a family, but he can't just get that, or else, we might as well just end the show right now because he's got all of it. But right. The most important thing is obstacles, challenges. What is preventing Johnny? We just talked about Johnny wants the baby. Johnny wants Carmen. He wants Robbie and Miguel. He wants all these things. He wants a happy life. But what's preventing him from getting that? Who is preventing him? And what does he have to do to overcome that? That's where you have story, where you have drama, where you have conflict. And that's what we're going to figure out right here. So, as Ken is putting down, we got happy family, wants happy family, Carmen, Miguel. I always think of Miguel, in Mexico. Right. I love that Miguel. It's like he says it in the same like quiet tone,
Right. And that was a great example of like what he wants. Like he cared about Miguel. He wanted Miguel to be back and safe so bad. He went to Mexico and he brought Robbie. And so you can see that that's what's most important to him at this point. He's kind of found happiness. Yeah, and Drew, you put it exactly right. I love it. Yeah, that you put it exactly right.
Thank you.
And so yeah, you're right. What we need obstacles, right?
We need obstacles. So yes, so I think this is good for character wants, right? I think we got it all.
I think so. I don't think he needs to like be head of a successful karate dojo anymore. I think he wants this more.
Yes, 100%. 100%. So now, yeah, I think we could go on to, okay, he wants a happy family. He wants Carmen. He wants Miguel. He wants Robbie. He wants a baby. What is stopping him from getting these, Ken? Why can't he get these right now? Like, why is there another season? What's going to
Oh,
stop him?
okay. I think right now, from what we know in the show so far, there are two potential obstacles. We saw in the prison scene with Kreese, he said very clearly to Kreese what he wants, basically, and paraphrasing, is to stamp out Cobra Kai every hint of Kreese's legacy, every memory of Kreese. Like he was pretty devastating towards Kreese, saying like, I just want to eliminate your memory. I don't want your legacy to go forward. I don't want you to hurt anyone else.
Mm.
So he thought that that happened, but I think they're going to learn that Kreese is out of prison. So I think that's number one, that that might prevent. He thought that that was taken care of, but it's not. Kreese is out there. The second one, and if you look back, and I was kind of wondering if this might happen at the end of season 5, is Hector.
Oof.
So everyone talked about how basically Johnny went down and picked up Miguel. Hector was kind of suspicious of Miguel, had a connection with him, but we never saw what happened with Hector after Miguel left. And as people pointed out, Miguel left his backpack. I think, and Hector's a bad dude. He has bad history. And when he looks through Miguel's backpack and starts looking into that, he will very quickly understand, I think, that Miguel is his son and that Carmen ran away and is in LA. And Hector, even though he's married now, that, if I'm remembering right, that his wife's kid is not his.
Mm-hmm.
And then so Miguel is his kid. And Hector, I think, will enter the picture. And I think Carmen's going to be in peril. He's going to be extremely upset with Carmen. And I think he is not going to want Miguel to stay with Carmen and Johnny. And I think that is going to be a major personal threat to Johnny's family, is Hector.
Okay.
That's an idea.
I like that.
Do you have an idea?
I was just thinking, I just wanna okay. We don't have to confirm that because we don't know if he's in the season, right? We don't know if he's in
We
the
don't
season.
know.
But I want to let's figure out if it makes sense if he's in the season. So
Okay.
so let's do a want list for Hector and
Let's
an
do it.
obstacle for Hector, just so we
Right.
could see if it even makes sense, right?
Right.
So
Right.
so okay, with what you said, you said that Miguel left his backpack, so
Yes.
Hector knows. Hector will find out Miguel is his son. So what does Hector want?
Well, Hector obviously valued family. He seemed to be happy that he was able to have a family, but it was gnawing at him that his wife left him. And he didn't know at the time that she was pregnant. So he doesn't have, if he wants legacy, he didn't know that he actually has a biological son, Miguel. And for someone like Hector, who's very family oriented, that is going to be something he would want. This idea of legacy. That's my idea, at least. That's very important to him. And he probably feels very wronged by Carmen, the fact that she ran out on him. And I think if he's very controlling, which he looks like he is, and abusive, which he probably was, he would want absolute control over Carmen and his son. He would view them as like his property, probably.
So wants control. Legacy? You want to put legacy?
Yes.
Wants to be powerful. Like he was the MMA club. He was like
Yes.
he was the guy.
Yes.
He wants control, legacy, and family.
Yes.
And family. I mean, I guess we saw a glimpse of him being a bad dude, but I mean, I think you did see, you did see him, having that nice family life, and I think that is something he wants, whether it's in the right way or the wrong way. He wants it.
Right. I think, and so I would think he would want to deal with the situation. I don't think he would want to just let Miguel go if he knew that Miguel was his actual son. He'd want to deal with it somehow. Either he takes Miguel or he goes to confront people. But I think he would want to resolve that somehow.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. I mean, it makes sense because, yeah, you have this kid who just shows up out of nowhere, all this stuff, all these accusations going on. And then, yeah, you find out he's your son. It's like, what the heck? I want some answers. Why the hell is he here? What is going on? Yeah. So he has money. So he could make a trip down to the States. What's his obstacle? Probably Johnny and Carmen and Miguel. All three of them are probably his obstacles, right?
Right, exactly. Obviously they're fighters, and Johnny's obviously very territorial, I'm sure, about his family. And so you're right, though. Hector does have an entire staff of MMA fighters. Like, he's got muscle to bring too. And so that could be, he could have his own sort of Kim Dae-un sensei situation as well.
That'd be interesting.
Those are two so those look like complications that exist in the show. Of course, we can also come up with more obstacles, new obstacles for Johnny too.
Yeah. Let's do that. So, all right, this is what I'll do right here. Have a wants and an obstacles list, right?
Mm-hmm.
We do that.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Good.
Yeah, I like
it. Should I like highlight this? Should I? What should I? A different color?
Sure. Yeah, that's good.
Want to give it red?
I love it.
We'll do red for the character names just to kind of differentiate. All right.
Yeah, that's great.
All right. Just so it's visually. There we go. Okay, that's good, right?
Yeah, that's great.
So it could stand out. I'm very particular with like like, oh, it looks good or it doesn't. This looks good.
I think that, yeah, I can read it very easily.
All right, that's key. Okay, cool. Okay, so obstacles. I'm gonna hand this over to you. Obstacles with Johnny.
Sure.
What are your thoughts on? Well, we just mentioned a big one, who's our first side character.
Right,
possibly.
Exactly. I would say Kreese out of prison. Hector pursuing, if I can spell it right, pursuing Miguel Carmen. I don't know. Are there any other obstacles to Johnny's happiness? It's like Daniel was, but they're kind of on the same team now. They are in the same team now.
Terry Silver.
Right. Terry's still out there.
I mean, like, literally, talk about an obstacle to his happiness. I'll give you a key scene, the elevator scene in episode, it was episode 9 of season 5, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, literally, the dude goes into the elevator, points at Carmen's stomach, and is like, I just want what's best for the future. like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, if that's not an obstacle, like he is the only one out of everyone who actually threatened Johnny's child and saying like I will, like, listen, I don't know if it was a literal threat against the child, but just saying like, I want what's best for the future,
Right.
So that is something that, like Johnny does not want any form of Cobra Kai around his baby,
Yes, that's an amazing point. I just want to point out, Drew, James Hayward had one final comment that he just posted in the chat.
Okay. James says, I got to go, Mr. Cobra Kai Kid, but thanks for the great stream. And I can confirm
Wow, very cool.
You know what it is? I think it's Colonel Dugan coming back. I think that's what he's referring to.
Oh, okay. Hey, I'm 100% on board with
that.
that.
But thank you, James. I appreciate you for being here. Me and Ken really appreciate it, and yeah, thank you so much. Love seeing you in these streams and appreciate the insight. You're the man.
Thank you, James.
It's awesome. That's very funny. I did see a good point. Let me see who found it. I wanted to bring it up. Shifty Moore says law enforcement for breaking in can be a potential obstacle.
Right.
The law.
Right, the law. So that's the thing too that we talked about a little bit before, but are there going to be consequences for Johnny and Mike and Chosen breaking into Terry's place because we know Terry has every inch of that covered by security cameras, and there's going to be footage of them doing that. If Terry has anything like that, I think he's going to use any and all means to try and get revenge or bring them down. And once that footage gets out, or if he submits to law enforcement, that could be a problem for Johnny. But yeah, and so that would go under Terry Silver, I think. Terry Silver's a problem for Johnny, probably.
You know what I could see happening? I could see like a situation where like Johnny Chosen, Daniel, they're getting ready for the Sekai Taikai. They're training hard against Kreese and Kim Da-eun, and then you have the what's the expression? It's like the hidden. Oh God, there's an expression, but like then you have like Terry Silver, who's like in the shadows, and it's like, wait a second, you forgot about me. I have surveillance footage of all of you breaking into my house, and it's like now we add more complication to the story. Right before the Sekai Taikai, Johnny, Chosen, Barnes are like put in prison or something. You know what I'm saying? Like more, like it comes out of nowhere, and it's like another complication.
Yeah, definitely. I love that.
So yeah, we could. Are we we'll leave Terry Silver? Terry Silver's part of with the footage. That kind of ties in.
Right. Yeah, everything involved with Terry Silver. I think Terry would have his sights specially set on Johnny and crew.
Now, I don't know about this for sure. This is all theory based. But a potential obstacle, potential keyword is potential, might not happen, but you know what, we're right in the season, so we can make whatever we want to happen. What if there is some sort of complication with the baby in terms of a medical standpoint? Maybe I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that would definitely add a bit of peril. So that would be, some kind of like condition or external factor, not having to do with any of the people involved, but that would threaten Carmen. I think that's one way to go. I think it makes it less personal, and it takes it out of Johnny's hands to do anything about it, because it's more the doctor that's going to help Carmen. Johnny kind of has to just stand there and hope it gets better. But yeah, I mean, what if something happens with, it could be something medical, just she could have complications, or, what if Hector, if Hector comes in and she does something, or she's rough with her, or he's rough with her, and that causes a complication. I don't know. Yeah, but you're right. If something happens with the pregnancy, that would be an obstacle to Johnny's, what he wants.
Okay, so maybe we can put possibility of birth complications.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be a potential obstacle rather than it just being smooth sailing Carmen, because I feel like, let's look at Carmen too. That would be an obstacle that would be a major obstacle for Carmen, is some sort of complication. Yeah, whether it's an external thing, it's something medically, like something with the actual birth of the child, and maybe a life is in danger. Just something to give a little more, like, is what's gonna happen, rather than just, oh, we know she's gonna have the baby the whole time. It's smooth sailing,
Right.
karate. Oh, like a bunch of karate. It's like, oh no, here's the baby. A little more complication.
Exactly. Yes.
So
Yeah, that
yeah,
totally is.
cool, awesome. So, do we have anything else for Johnny? What do you think?
I think those are the core ones.
Okay. Someone said, Caleb said, what if Carmen gives birth to twins? I never thought about that. What do you think the possibilities of that is?
I think it's possible. You know, it's one of those things that I could see happening in the very, very last episode.
I
Like
can see that.
if she gives birth in the final episode, it's like twins.
Johnny
Uh,
passes out.
yeah, it's like because everyone's talking about is it going to be a boy or a girl? Well, what if it's like fraternal twins and it's a boy and a girl and they're twins?
Oh
You
my
know, I
God.
don't know. But yeah, I mean that's possible for sure.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. So I guess let's, if you want, I think what we should do is I think we should keep it to since we're already on the topic of Johnny and baby, I think we should continue
Yeah.
it with Carmen, because I
Hmm.
think they both have very similar wants, needs, and obstacles. So
Sure.
why don't we just talk about Carmen? So
Sure.
um what do you think Carmen wants?
You know, honestly, I think that you're right. They're aligned. You know, she has all those same wants, like the happy family. She wants Miguel and Robbie to be happy, and she obviously cares very much about the new baby in Johnny. And I think that's probably the focus of her life right now. And
I agree.
and of course, you know, Rosa.
Mm,
But you know, they're but that's part of, you know, the family. Yeah, I would think they're pretty much aligned. She probably would be very happy if Johnny has nothing to do with martial arts anymore.
yeah, I think, I don't think she would mind him doing martial arts, just not fighting for
Not
his life every day.
right.
Like,
Yes.
like, like slicing fingers, pinkies off guys, and
Yep.
almost getting stabbed in the chest multiple times. Like, I think she could do without that. Okay.
Yes.
So I think, do you think the obstacles are identical?
You know, there's a good chance. It's possible she might not see Kreese as much of an obstacle, but she's probably in the back of her mind worried about Hector because of everything that happened and Miguel made contact. She did, as you said, they had that scene at the beginning of episode 9 and where she had direct contact with Terry Silver and he seemed to indicate to her pregnancy. And I'm sure she took that as a threat.
Yeah,
Um,
100%. That was her first interaction with Silver, right?
yes, that was her first direct interaction with Terry Silver.
Yeah. So yeah, that was yeah, that's an obstacle.
Yes. And then, you know, I think what you said, like, I'm sure her focus is like taking care, making sure that the pregnancy goes well, um, and make sure she has like a healthy baby. I'm sure that's like her other big priority. So any kind of birth complications would be an obstacle for sure.
Definitely. All right, so Johnny, I think we've come to the realization. I mean, listen, they're both going to have completely different stories, and also, as we right now, we're just basing this off of the end of season 5. But as we write season 6, as we get through it, Johnny and Carmen's wants are gonna, I wouldn't necessarily say change, but I think we'll be able to put more, because as Johnny, we know Johnny will be competing in the Sekai Taikai.
Hmm.
He'll probably want to win that. That's probably a want. But for
Right.
now, we're not going to put that, because that's not his motivation at the end of season 5, right, Ken?
That's exactly right. So yeah, what we're doing now is we're kind of like at this moment, as of the very end of season 5, This is kind of where they're at right now. And so we can introduce new things that will give them more wants or more obstacles, but this is what they're dealing with right now at the end of season 5.
100%. All right. Perfect. I think we're ready to move on to another character. What would you say
Let's
about
do
that?
it. I love it.
This is fun. Are you guys enjoying this? Do you want to see we're gonna be doing more of these. So what do you guys think about this? Comment below if you're enjoying it, and give us your thoughts. I think we should
Nice.
go Mr. Daniel. Oh, sorry. Typo. LaRusso. Sorry. So we got Daniel LaRusso wants objectives. So now this is going to be fun because now we're diving into a character who is kind of opposite to Johnny. He's Johnny's opposite. I mean, they have some similar wants, but let's talk about Mr. Daniel LaRusso. I think we can give him the first thing that Johnny wants. I think that's a big thing for Daniel, is family, right? Would you say happy family?
100%.
I like that. So, Mr. Ken Cole, what else does Daniel want?
Well, as always, I think he wants to uphold Mr. Miyagi's legacy. I think he always wants to do that.
Yes. No matter what it is, karate,
Right.
non-karate, balance, being kind and showing respect. That's I 100% agree.
Yeah. And this might be a little kind of deviant. This is more like his character. But I think he wants everyone else to do what he thinks is right. Like that's kind of like that's kind of more just his character. But I think it seems like in life, that's the source of a lot of his motivations, is if someone is doing something that he thinks is wrong, he takes it upon himself to correct them. But we don't have to put, that's kind of like an eternal thing with him. That's more.
Yeah.
And also, what else? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say like, I mean, he has come a little ways with Johnny. I would say that's a long way with Johnny. So he's adaptable, but yeah, like he's still got some stuff to work on, but I think he's come a long way with that.
I agree.
What else does he want? He wants are there any, because yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I was going to say, like, I think the same as the beginning. He wants Cobra Kai to be a non thing. Like he wants Cobra Kai to not influence. Yeah, take down Cobra Kai.
100%.
And I think he thinks he did that until obviously the news from the detective.
Yeah. And anything with like Amanda, Anthony, and Sam all goes with happy family, right?
Yes. Yeah. Like Armand says, he wants to help kids. Yes.
Yeah. He wants, uphold Mr. Miyagi's legacy. He wants peace in life. He wants peace. He doesn't want.
You're right. He doesn't want conflict.
Yeah. And I think all these things would result in peace.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else for wants with Daniel?
I think all that's right. So like, I think that kind of is sort of the core of Daniel.
I agree. Oh, I put objectives. Whoops. Obstacles. That's what we're looking for. So, okay. Daniel wants a happy family. He wants to uphold Mr. Miyagi's legacy, take down Cobra Kai. Now, I'm going to just go ahead and put the first obstacle. I think the biggest obstacle is Cobra Kai.
Yep.
I think any form of Cobra Kai would be an obstacle to Daniel.
Yes. Yes.
And I mean, I guess we could put that as an obstacle for Johnny too, right? Can we put that as an obstacle for Johnny, Cobra Kai?
I think at this point, yeah, as if Cobra Kai involves any of those Silver, Kreese, or Kim Daeun people, yes. I think if those people were out of the picture and Johnny could take it over again and do it his way, but maybe he's beyond that anyway.
But for now, he's like Cobra Kai needs to die. He's not.
Right.
He's not. Yeah, he wants it gone.
Exactly.
So Cobra Kai, we could put Kreese. We could put Kreese out of prison, right?
Yes, big time.
Terry Silver.
Yep.
Um,
And can I throw this out there? We haven't seen him in a little bit, but I would say Tom Cole from a professional standpoint.
Tom Cole. I like that. Now, let me ask you, why would Tom Cole this season get in the way of Daniel's wants?
Oh my gosh. I have like an amazing answer for that. Okay. So as we know in Cobra Kai season 5, in prison, Kreese makes an offhanded reference to the idea that Silver is in tight with the DA. And that's what helped get Kreese put away, was that Terry was like really close with the DA. And we know from Karate Kid 3 that he was bribing the DA, Willie Cole. That's who the DA was in Karate Kid 3. Bribed him over dinner with poached salmon. I'm sure you remember the bathtub bubble bath conversation.
Of course.
Right. Now notice his last name's Cole. My last name's Cole, of course, but that's the same last name as Tom Cole. So I have to believe that Tom Cole as a character was named intentionally, potentially because he's related to Willie Cole. And honestly, if you guys have seen like Cobra Cole, it's kind of like all kind of taking that idea and running with it a bit. But like for the show, it's very possible that Tom Cole is related to the DA or someone who maybe he's moved on to a different position, but he's very tied in with the criminal justice system. And that another Cole, Tom Cole, could threaten LaRusso Auto. So basically, Tom Cole might have 1 or 2 steps of separation, degrees of separation from Terry Silver. And obviously, Tom Cole could continue to be a threat to Daniel's family through LaRusso Auto. Something bad happened to LaRusso Auto, that would threaten the LaRusso family livelihood for sure.
I like that. I like that. It's a very interesting theory. It's a very if Terry Silver wants to take down Daniel, might as well get some reinforcements. Tom Cole, big adversary to Daniel, right?
Exactly. And, kind of like what you're saying earlier about if Terry Silver comes back later, like he's kind of pops out and he's like, hey guys, I'm here. The thing is, he could be operating from the shadows. And one of the ways he could be operating from the shadows to get, say, revenge on Daniel is to operate through Tom Cole and through the DA and threaten Daniel's livelihood.
I could definitely see a scenario where, say, like season 6 is split into 2 parts. Just pretend.
Right.
I could see a scenario where part 1 of season 6 ends in this major cliffhanger of Terry Silver gets out of jail and he finds a way to get Johnny, Barnes, and Chosen arrested because of what they did. And then he also works with Tom Cole to take down Daniel's business. So now everyone is in shambles.
Yes.
By the end. And then it's like, now we have this big cliffhanger going into the second half of the season, which is a lot bigger of a cliffhanger than we have now.
Right. Yes. Yes, indeed. I totally agree. Yeah. And yeah, keep in mind too, that we talk about Terry Silver as an enemy. One thing you notice if you watch Terry Silver throughout the series is he knows things. He almost has a supernatural knowledge of where people are going to be, what they're doing. You notice how Terry Silver showed up at Stingray's apartment, like right when Daniel went in. It's like he knew Daniel was going to be there. This was very true even from Karate Kid 3. So keep in mind too that Terry Silver does his research on everyone. He knows who he's dealing with. He knows where they are. He keeps tabs on them. He's a big fan of like security cameras. He has people, I'm sure, that can look things up. He's a billionaire. He has tons of resources. So keep that in mind. He has people. He has a lot of people out there, a network probably of paid off people.
100%. So Ken, I want you to keep going. I'm going to go refill my water bottle.
Okay, sure. Absolutely.
I'm going to, well, I'll pass by you because you're in the office right next door. You know,
Right.
yeah.
Of course. Yeah. Yeah. I'll wave to you as you go by.
Okay.
No
Okay.
worry.
Oh, we got our mugs too. Right.
Yes, we do. Yeah. We'll take a sip.
Yeah.
That's great.
This is the writer's room. Like, this is what happens when you're in the writer's room. You got the mugs. What mug do you have there before we keep going? Why don't you give a little self-promotion?
Right. So this is the Save Silver mug. Those of you who follow my channel, definitely go subscribe if you haven't. I'm a bit of a Terry Silver fan. That's not going to influence the writing of season 6 that we're doing here, but I'm a bit of a Terry Silver fan. So we are forming a coalition to help Terry get out of custody because, I think he was wrongly accused. A lot of us think he was wrongly accused. So this is a Save Silver campaign. We just released a new commercial, so everyone can check it out. The Save Silver commercial that really, I think, puts our best foot forward story-wise as to why Terry, is facing unjust conditions and unjust persecution. So, not saying he's perfect. Terry's not perfect. But he kind of gets a bad rap. He has a lot of good qualities that I think people like Daniel LaRusso overlook. So this is a Save Silver mug. We've got the full line of Save Silver shirts and everything like that. So it's tons of fun. And oh, hey Drew, how you doing? He's just passing by the hallway. So this is a lot of fun, and it's fun talking about Terry Silver. I don't know if I can select certain comments, but you guys, we've seen so many amazing comments. Thank you for hashtag Save Silver. I see that in the comments. Use hashtag Save Silver, guys, in social media for sure. Let's see. Josh says, "Oh, good to see you, Josh. Save Silver, help poor Tear Bear." Thank you. That is a reference to Cobra Cole. You guys might get a kick out of that too. It's a short film I made with David Shatra, who played Tom Cole in Cobra Kai. The Cole connection, Anyway, so that was fun. Robbie Keene is here in the chat, which is amazing. And he says, Terry didn't do anything wrong. LaRusso, Barnes, Lawrence, Taguchi will pay for getting him falsely arrested. Robbie, I'm so glad to see you come around. That's wonderful. I love that thought. King Paris says, Silver was just defending himself from the senseis who broke into his home. The guy is just trying to run a business. Justice for Terry Silver. Drew, it's good to have you back. I'm as personally as a fan of Terry Silver, I'm heartened by how many people in the chat really feel like Terry's gotten a bad rap, and maybe they've gone a bit overboard on going after Terry Silver. So, so yeah, hashtag Save Silver, guys. Thank you. Yeah, Drew, we're in good shape. I think we've got a good crew here in the chat.
Yeah, appreciate all of you guys for joining. It really means a lot. Love all the theories, love all the comments. You guys are the absolute best. So what else are you talking about? What do we got going here?
I think we just kind of took a little detour. We digressed a bit on Terry Silver, Save Silver campaign, of course. Bringing awareness to unjust persecution. And we're not saying Terry's perfect, guys. He's not perfect. No one's perfect.
No one is. No one is.
No one is.
Except
but
Terry.
Yeah, except right. Terry thinks he is, but we won't tell him that he's not.
Anyway, let's go back. Let's go back. So we got any more obstacles for Daniel Russo? That's where we left off. Daniel Russo obstacles.
I think those are kind of the big ones. Because I think you could say Kim Da-eun is part of Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And Kreese is a personal enemy. Terry Silva is a personal enemy, and Tom Cole is a professional enemy. Yeah.
I agree. Okay.
I don't think Barnes is anymore, unless we want him to be. But
I don't think so. I think Barnes and Daniel are on good terms. I think now let's go to what do you say we mix it up a little bit and we
Oh yeah.
go, let's see. You see where I'm going here?
Oh, where are we going? Oh yes. Huge character. Huge
Am I
character.
that right?
I think that is correct.
Okay. All right. Huge character.
Huge character.
This is gonna be fun. Who would have
Yes.
thought we would be discussing Chosen's wants and obstacles? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
After
great.
season 3 is really, it was like a 1 episode story. Like it was like he had 10 minutes of screen time or something, and now
Yes.
here he is. Like, so awesome. I well, first off, I guess we should discuss Chosen. Oh, this is the big thing. I actually want to get your thoughts on this before we keep going, because this is gonna dictate like what we want to do.
Right.
Chosen. Why did Chosen? Let me ask you a question. And chat. Let's talk about this. Why did Chosen come to the Valley from Okinawa? Why did he come back, Ken?
He also cares about, I think, upholding the Miyagi legacy, because that's his style. That's his legacy. He doesn't have kids of his own, and I think he obviously feels loyalty and devotion towards Daniel, because as he said, he felt very bad about how he treated Daniel. And he's come around, and it seems like Sato really helped him come back and see the light. So I think he feels a lot of brotherly devotion to Daniel, and he wants to help Daniel kind of maybe pay back a debt he owes them. But also, he views Daniel as family, especially with this Miyagi, style of fighting, Miyagi-Do, his style. And I think he feels that Daniel's legacy is also Miyagi's legacy and his.
So with Cobra Kai taken down, does Chosen still have that obligation to help Daniel? What does Chosen have to do? Because let's say Cobra Kai is gone. What does
Right.
Chosen have to do now?
I think at this point, you're right. It does seem like Cobra Kai is gone.
At this
I
point.
think at this point, or at least it's not a threat.
Mm-hmm.
He might view Kim Da-eun and the senseis as a continuing threat to him and his legacy, and as enemies to be worried about. But also, I think at this point, he's interested in, he's been in a life or death situation. I think he's very motivated maybe to continue to talk to Kumiko. I think that's one part of his life that is the unrequited love towards Kumiko. And if he feels that Cobra Kai's out of the picture, he might really want to focus on that, his own love life.
Yeah, I'm gonna put like his individual wants first. So
Yes.
I agree with you. I saw a lot of people in the chat talking about Komiko. Very, very good point. Chosen wants Komiko. And I think another thing he wants, which he talks about all the time, is wants honor.
The honor. Yes. Yes.
He wants honor. He wants honor.
Yes.
It's a good one.
Yes. That's perfect. Very important.
I love this. Oh, this is good. This is good. This is gonna be the we're laying the groundwork, right?
Yes. Yeah, and you're right, Drew. You're exactly right. And everyone watching right now, what we're doing, it might seem like we're kind of like just kind of going over things we know, but this is really important. If we're going to write a story for season 6, we have to know these things, because these are the motivations of the characters, and we all need to be on the same page, all of us in the writer's room, right, Drew?
100%, 100%. Especially since we're all doing it together, we got to be on the same page. And this is absolute key, because when we start writing the story, we're going to go back to this list and see, does this make sense? Would the character do this? Would Johnny kill Kim Da-eun? Like I know it sounds outlandish, but like, would he kill Kim Da-eun? And we go back to this lesson. It's like, no, we see he wants a happy family. He doesn't want to kill. This is a bad example, but you know what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah.
Like there are certain things that we are going, when we start to make story decisions, we have to be sure that it aligns with character motivations. That's it.
Right. And I'll add too, like the big three, John, Josh, and Hayden, their entire writing team. Like one of the reasons why, in my opinion, Cobra Kai works so well is that these story points come from the characters. And it's not they come up with the story points and try to jam the characters into situations. And I think you see that sometimes, and people kind of cry foul and they're like, well, that doesn't make sense. You know, that character wouldn't do that. We want to avoid that. So if we come up with story, we want it to come from the characters and from their decisions, and decisions that would make sense.
Yeah, and
Wouldn't you say?
I agree. And another thing, like kind of like going with that point, is the characters are so unique and developed in the show that you have certain movies, certain shows where you can you can mix dialogue around to different characters and it will still work. But with Cobra Kai, every character has a unique perspective and unique dialogue that, like, like a line is Johnny's line, when a line is Daniel's line, even if you just see it on paper. And that's what's really key that's what we want here. That's why we're writing these characters. That's one of the first things we're doing. The characters are the key to the story. Without the characters, you have nothing.
Yes. 100% agree.
Perfect. So any other wants for Mr. Chosen Taguchi?
You know, I think that covers it. Like, I think those are his big core wants.
I agree. Obstacles. This is where it gets fun, right?
Yeah, I mean,
I think we got these three. I think are the three main ones for most of the characters is Cobra Kai, Kreese. Oh, actually, let's not put Kreese out of prison because Kreese doesn't really have a connection with Chosen.
No.
So I don't think we really need that yet.
Right.
So we'll say Cobra Kai and Terry Silver.
Yes.
What else?
I think you could say Kim Da-eun, because she personally called out Chosen. She knew who Chosen was. And it seems like if not their families, then their fighting styles have history together, you know? And he obviously knows all about Kim Sun-young and has probably feelings that the way of the fist is bad. Like but he was probably taught that from Sato. So yeah. So Kim Da-eun probably. Let's see what else.
I got a good one.
Yes.
I got a really good one.
Yes.
All right. I'm trying to think about how to word this. I'm gonna say major injury at the end of the season.
Yes.
That's something.
Brilliant.
That's an obstacle that going into the next season. I mean, his back. I mean, listen, he seemed fine, but back got sliced. That's something that is that going to be addressed to start the season, right? Would you say so?
Yeah, you're right, and that could be a major handicap, and could you're right, at least during the first part of the season, could limit his ability to help Daniel physically.
Woohoo! I like that.
That's a great one.
Yeah. Kind of reminds me of it's kind of like a Finn from The Force Awakens. You know, Finn got sliced right in the back. It's
like
a similar kind of thing.
Yes, another Star Wars connection. I love it.
Of course, I like that one. That's like one that's not as clear, but like we have to look at the end of the season and kind of tie it back. So major injury, Cobra Kai, Terry Silver, Kim Da-eun. What other obstacles for Chosen in particular?
Well, let's see.
Let me ask you, anything with I actually I think I got one. I think not wanting to be seen as a coward. What do you think about that?
Right. I think you're right. Being seen as a coward would take away his want of having honor and being a person of honor.
So maybe not. Should I take that off?
Um, I think you're right. Like, what about people who could things that would take away his honor would be an obstacle, which, that's something that's deeper, but that was a problem even Karate Kid 2, where if someone would dishonor him, yeah, being dishonored, that's an obstacle.
Being dishonored. Because I mean, for him especially, that's something that he will never accept.
Right.
I like
So
that.
so everyone can think of like, what are ways that he could be dishonored? And we might come by those things pretty soon as we write. Hey, Drew, I think I need to make a visit to the writer's room break room for a minute. And
Oh,
if you don't mind kind of taking over, I'll be back in just a couple minutes. I'll wave hi as I go by.
I got you. Okay. Tell Christine at the reception desk that I say hello.
Absolutely. She is so friendly.
Very
She is so
friendly.
great.
Very
Yes.
friendly.
All right. We'll be back.
Hi. What's up, guys? I'm going to take over, and while Mr. Ken Cole is in the bathroom, I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna answer some super chats. I saw some coming in. I appreciate you guys for commenting and sending those super chats in. Really means a lot. Definitely want to get to those. So let me answer some right now. Ryan Lee, thank you so much for the super chat. It really means a lot. They should have Kenny really authentically apologize to Anthony for that dirty swirly. And in a public toilet, Anthony could have contracted any number of deadly diseases, and the Russos could sue for that. Yeah, Ryan, I agree. That was disgusting. Anytime I watch the season, I make sure to never eat during that episode, because seeing that that part is truly nasty. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Kenny should apologize to Anthony for that, and I think he will. Messed up, very messed up. And as for the LaRusso suing, I mean, you don't really get too much of that in the Cobra Kai universe. They could sue for a lot of stuff. Chris Klotz, thank you so much for the super chat. Does Kim Da-eun still own 50% of Cobra Kai? And what if she still does? That's a great point. And she should definitely be a character that we touch on for character wants and needs. I think we could touch on Kim Da-eun next. I'll tell Ken about that. Maybe that could be our last character for today. So then, yeah, I guess. Oh, here he is. He's back, Mr. Ken Cole. There we go.
Let's get my earbuds in. Yeah, Christine says hi. She's overhearing everything, and she's so excited about season 6.
All right. I have an appointment scheduled for 4. Did she?
Okay.
Did she? You think is she in right now? I'll talk to her after.
Yeah, she is. She's there. Yeah, she's there.
Okay. And are you still on for tomorrow's lunch with you know who?
Yes, of course, 100%. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
Yeah, that'll be
yeah.
exciting.
I hear we're having poached salmon.
My favorite. Please thank Cheyenne for that.
Of course. Yeah.
We're
just salmon and tofu.
Poached salmon and tofu. We're messing with you guys. We're just having tofu. Right. It's just healthy. Tofu. Everything else is true. So I was just going over some super chats, if you don't mind. We can do those, and then I think if you want to do one more character to wrap up today.
Yeah, I love it.
Would that be okay with you, Ken?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
All right. So after we do these super chats, what do you think about Kim Da-eun for our final character?
Oh gosh, that's an interesting one. Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Okay. And then, you know, we still got Silver, Kreese, Miguel, Robbie. Like, we still got a lot more, but Kim Da-eun, I think, would be interesting.
Yes.
Especially because Chris made a good point. Does Kim Da-eun still own 50% of Cobra Kai? And what if she still does?
Mm-hmm. I think that could factor in very, very much into what happens in season 6. It's kind of interesting that TORY did that, because, you know, usually if you have 50% ownership, you know, if he had even 55% ownership, he would be able to call the shots. But 50%, it would depend on how that contract is written, because that's like split ownership. So I assume TORY had a fail safe so that he would have control. But yeah, she owns half. That's huge.
It's a very big deal, especially, like, I don't know how I mean, we know they have a past, but like like it didn't seem like they were that close to be like, yeah, let's partner up and just let me just give you half of all of what I've established here.
Right. Right. Exactly.
What I'm offering you is legacy. Great line.
Great line. Amazing delivery by Thomasine Griffith.
Yeah. Casey, thank you for the super chat. Incorporate Ed Asner's death so Johnny could possibly find a way to take over Sid's estate. I think that's a Sid. I think that's an interesting point with Sid. What do you think about Sid? Unfortunately, the actor Ed Asner has passed away.
Yes.
But they haven't acknowledged Sid in the series since season 3.
No, they haven't. Yeah, they could, I suppose. You know, the thing is, like, kind of like as you were saying, Drew, one of the things we want to introduce are obstacles. So if we make things too easy for characters, you know, it's not as interesting. So I'm wondering if that's addressed and Johnny would inherit anything from Sid if he passed away, then that might happen towards the end of the series. Maybe, you know, as you know, and they lived happily ever after kind of ending, that would help Carmen and his whole new family. They would have money from Sid. But if he gets a ton of money too early, that would potentially make things too easy. Like Johnny would have like tons of resources, and I don't know. That's my sense, at least. You know, they might introduce that towards the very end. I don't know. What do you think?
I really do agree with you that by, you know, saying, oh, Sid just passed away, here's his money. Well, first off, would Sid really put Johnny in that will?
Right. And that's, you know, if we were to do a wants on Sid, you know, would that would that go with it, right?
Wants to give all his money to
right.
to Mr. Sensei.
Right, exactly. That must have been a
Yeah.
very powerful last conversation, I think, if that happened. That must have affected Sid quite a
Yeah.
bit if he changed his tune.
Yeah, and I agree with you. I think it's too easy, and I think it's also just like, what, Sid dies and it's like, now here's his money. Like, I feel like it would be more impactful if Sid was still alive and he was like, you know, here's, well, I mean, like, maybe he sent it over. Obviously, we don't have that Azure, but maybe he sends over a check and it's like a little note or something showing
Yeah,
his growth. But I don't know.
you're right. We don't need to see Sid again, and he
Yeah,
could still be alive. Yeah.
definitely. Thai Club says Anthony and Kenny need to settle their beef in season 6. They do need to settle that beef.
Yeah, they do, and that's a good point. Maybe that's something that maybe next time we'll start looking at these characters of Kenny and Anthony and determine their wants and see where they're at now and what their story might be going forward.
Yeah, I'm excited to get into the. Yeah, like, I mean, I would say in the grand scope of the show, they're relatively smaller characters than the Johnny and the Chosens and the Daniels, but still just
Yes.
as interesting. Still, every character has wants and needs.
Yes, indeed. And that's what's so great about this show.
Definitely. And super chat here from Old School. Thank you again. Do you think Kenny will try the silver bullet again in the tournament?
You know, it's it's kind of an interesting idea because, we saw Daniel sort of use the Quicksilver method against Terry Silver. Would Kenny use what he learned from Terry Silver against Cobra Kai? Maybe. I mean, if it works, he might. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see going forward how new mentors, perhaps if he goes under Daniel and Johnny and Chosen, how they might convince him to use those techniques or not use those techniques. I don't know. What do you think? Is that something we need to figure out in the writers' room?
That's gonna be something we're gonna have to figure out in the writers' room. We'll figure out what techniques will be used at the tournament. Will we see Anthony use the scroll technique? Like we'll see what's gonna happen there. That's a writers' room convo. All right. DK Styles says this one. I think there's some typos in this. I see something about Dre Parker from the 2010 reboot.
Okay.
He's definitely not going to be in the show because the Karate Kid reboot's not canon. However, I will say I love that tournament from the reboot,
right?
And I want that to like kind of be similar to the Sekai Taiga in terms of scale. Thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, something epic like that. And I guess do you think that the actors, do you think Jaden Smith, obviously, I think is he on as well with Will Smith as an executive producer of the show? Do you think he would appear as another character?
I doubt.
Too close.
Too confusing. Too like multiverse-esque. Like, oh, is this canon? Is this like, I don't think they want to even go there with that, honestly. I mean, it would be cool, but I don't think so. What do you think?
Yeah, probably. I think, because if you have him, do you have Jackie Chan? But the thing is, Jackie Chan could only appear as Jackie Chan, I think, like the celebrity, because Daniel and Robbie talk about Jackie Chan as the actor. So I don't know. Yeah, they probably might just leave that to the side. I think we have more of a chance of seeing Colonel Dugan.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
And we have Terry Silver Rocks. Great username right there.
Nice. Good to see you.
Does Mike have 50% or did he have to beat Daniel? He does not have 50%.
No, he doesn't. Because remember, if you go back and watch Karate Kid 3, that was the agreement. That was the pitch that Terry had from Mike Barnes, was that if he beats the kid, Daniel LaRusso, in the tournament, he gets 50% ownership of the dojos. And he never did that. And that
could have.
He could have, but he didn't. So I don't think he would get that, but he might feel like he earned it. And I've talked about this before, like he might feel like he went above and beyond for Terry Silver and that he earned it. And he might be upset that he did all that and he didn't get it. But, that's another conversation.
Definitely. So what do you think, Ken? You want to do one more character?
Let's do it.
All right, let's wrap it up with one more character here. We have, let's, and we're going to continue with this the next stream, and we could kind of talk about, we'll talk about after what we want to do next time. But let's start it off with Miss Kim Da-eun. We spelling her name right? Yes,
that looks correct.
Okay, just making sure. All right. Wants and obstacles for Kim Da-eun. Ideas. Go.
The number one thing I think she wants is to uphold Kim Sun-young, her grandfather's legacy, and restore his image.
Spelling check.
I think that's correct. I've seen it spelled two ways, but I think that's correct.
Okay, let me double check. Oh, are you double checking?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, there's a dash. I'll put the dash. Kim Sun-young's legacy. That's a great want. Wait. Uh, well, she doesn't. I wouldn't. I don't think we need to really include this, but she did say when she met Silver, she doesn't care about money, right?
Right.
So I think that kind of goes with the legacy. She wants legacy. It's not about the money. It's not about uh like she want power, Ken? Does she want power or does she just want the legacy? Or does she need like we know Silver wants to be in
Mhm.
control of everything, but does Kim Sung or does Kim Da-eun want power over all of this or does she just want it to happen?
I think as far as we're talking about the world of martial arts, if we're talking about the way of the fist, anything related to her grandfather, she would want to be the one to decide and control all of that in the end.
So wants control slash
Right.
wants control slash power.
Right. But as you said, it's not necessarily, she doesn't want to like be like a multi-billion dollar business. She wants control and power over this, over her style, martial arts. You could say reputation maybe is important to her, because she's hurt by the reputation that's been given to her grandfather.
Yes. Um po- positive reputation?
Uh, I think respected or feared reputation. Like
Respect.
I don't think everyone has to think it's positive, but I think my sense is she feels like her grandfather and his style was disrespected um, over the years, and she wants to bring back respect and fear, probably.
Hmm. Okay, so we got uphold Kim Sung Young's legacy, wants control slash power, wants respect, and wants reputation.
Yes. I don't know. What do you think? Does she want? Are there other things she wants? Does she have personal wants?
Hmm. I don't
She
think.
seemed. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No. What were you saying?
Well, I was thinking about. She seemed to be very focused on bringing up new talent, new leaders, and probably that's all part of like the legacy and making sure that her style keeps going to the future. But um, I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything personal. Like we've had no hint of like a love story or anything for her. So um,
Oh, well, we could say she wants to work with Kreese because she's one of the first things she said was, "Where's Sensei Kreese?"
right,
Is
you're
that something
right.
we can include?
It's possible that she really looked up to Kreese. Maybe she even had a crush on him at one point. You know,
I'd say that.
yeah, she probably. Yes, I think Kreese, if he wants to get in with her, he would use that to get in with her.
Yeah, and I think we can put this as a want because it's not it might not be something she's like after necessarily, but like I think it is something that like I don't see any reason why her perspective would have changed from season 5 into season 6. Like the first thing she said was, "Where's Sensei Kreese?"
Yes.
Uh she wanted to reunite with him. So I don't see any reason why that won't be something that gets played out the next season.
Yeah, I think that's an excellent point.
Okay. Anything else? Any other? Yeah, she's not. We don't have too much personal. Like, I think the backstory is key. We don't know
Right.
too much. That's
I
what's gonna
think
be
you're
key.
yes, I think that's what's going to be key, and I think it's possible as we write this, and I'm just having the sense that if we want to start off the first episode of season 6 with some kind of flashback,
Mm,
that might fill out, not necessarily with her, it could be, but like you're right. Like that gives a little more story and context to the history of these characters and what's happening. Um, yeah, I think you're right. Uh, she was very much all business in season 5, but maybe we learn more about her in season 6.
Yeah. Another thing I want to do with our season 6 fan written script, I want to actually discuss possible spin-offs with you.
Yeah,
Possible
yeah,
spin-off shows, spin-off movies, because that way we can actually set it up in season 6. So
yeah,
if we do have a Cobra Kai origin story or a Miyagi origin story, we can kind of lay the groundworks for that in our version and maybe show a glimpse so that if it were to get explored, it's like, oh, we kind of already set up that one scene that could be, you know what I'm saying?
yes. I totally agree. That's kind of an exciting part of season 6, I think.
Whew. Yeah,
Yes.
definitely. Okay. Obstacles. What Kim Da-eun wants to uphold Kim Sung-young's legacy. She wants control. She wants power. She wants respect. She wants reputation. She wants to reunite with Kreese. What is going to get in the way of all of this stuff?
Well, I think right now, probably she would view, and I should say, like right now, it seems like she's convinced that winning the Sekai Taikai will do a lot of that. So people who get in the way of that could be a problem. So right now, I would think, I know we joked about Miyagi Fang, but like if that dojo competes in the Sekai Taikai, that could be an obstacle.
Mm.
So it would be Daniel, Johnny, and Chosen.
Johnny Chosen. Can, can we put Mike Barnes on there or no? Because
That's a good question.
you know
We'd
what I'm
have to
saying?
figure out. Well, we'd have to figure out like what's Mike Barnes's motivation at this point. We don't know much about him other than his furniture store burnt down, and he has a shady past, and stuff. But he could be an obstacle.
We can put him for now if you want. Or no. Let's leave him out. Let's leave him out. Just
Let's
in
see.
case.
Yeah, let's leave him out. He might surface again in the future.
All right. I put winning the Sekai Taikai because that's an obstacle,
It
right?
is.
For her, it definitely is. She has a reason to still be in this tournament.
Yes, indeed. And you could put Terry Silver maybe because he he has complicated her plans. I think she views this as her plans now. And he up to this point had done a pretty good job, but you could tell she was like approving or disapproving of his conduct and how he was handling the problems. And I think now the fact that he was hauled in and arrested would completely kind of disappoint her in how he handled everything. It just wasn't correct. So Terry could be an obstacle to her accomplishing her wants.
I agree. Um, there also might be something else, which is she did try and fight 3 minors.
Yes.
She
Yes.
literally like attacked 3 minors in this like a karate brawl with kids. She was
Right.
fighting kids under 18. Tori, Devin, and Sam. So what do you think? Could the law be an obstacle? Like, can she go to jail for that? I mean, that seems like if Tori and Sam and Devin all say like this woman attacked us.
Right. And the thing is, it's hearsay unless it's recorded. And that's why Terry Silver, like if he hasn't shared his, security system or whatever with Kim Da-eun at this point, he might have a lot of leverage with people because he has proof. He has potentially footage of Kim Da-eun doing this.
Mm.
And so he has footage probably of people breaking into his house. So the thing is that you're right, that could be an obstacle is the fact that she technically committed crimes. Would it be a crime that she forced Tori to hit that guy, the fake dummy made of stone? would that be a crime if that got out?
So committed crimes we could put for an obstacle.
Yeah, that I think you're right. Committed crimes.
Yeah, she did a lot of bad stuff. I mean, I don't see any reason why. Like, why wouldn't they? Is it because they don't have proof? Like, why wouldn't Tori or Sam or Devin like come out and say like what she did? Like, what would be the reason for that not happening?
Yeah, especially at this point. Like they could let it go, but I don't know. Yeah, there really wouldn't be any reason at this point for them not to. Because they're part of the group now. You'd think they would have protection. But it also, you talk about committed crimes for Kim Da-eun. Kreese may have committed crimes by assaulting the security guard and doctor. He's done. So a solution to this could be that they leave the country. And but they may not. You're right. There might not be any way to prove it. Maybe Terry Silver's not interested in releasing that footage. It's all hearsay. And maybe she could claim self-defense. Like there was a brawl in progress by the time she got there. So she needed to defend her students. I don't know. There could be a lot of defenses maybe for that. But yeah, that would be an obstacle. Maybe she has to that she committed crimes.
As in everyone on the show.
Yes, exactly.
Are there any other ones, or do you think we got them all for now?
I think so. I think so. Like she probably lost maybe some of her muscle at the senseis a little bit, or they might be debilitated a bit. Like was it Sensei Odell lost his finger and like stuff like that?
We could put loss of senseis / students.
Yep.
That's a great obstacle.
Yep. So she's going to have to rebuild somehow. That's yeah, I would think so. Because that's the thing. Like she could go off and do her own thing, except Cobra Kai as a dojo has already been accepted to the Sekai Taikai. So it's probably better for her not to start over from scratch. She's probably going to want to make Cobra Kai work.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I like it. I think we got a lot of good stuff here.
Yes.
We got okay, so we got from the beginning, feels like we did this ages ago.
Right.
Story resolution ideas. We got the Sekai Taikai World Tournament. Kreese has escaped prison, is on the run. Carmen and Johnny's baby. We've not seen the last of Terry Silver. Wedding between Johnny and Carmen. Chosen and Komiko love story. Julie Pierce's return. Tori's mom, aunt, brother. The future of Cobra Kai. Kim Da-eun. New antagonist for the kids. Name of Daniel and Johnny's combined dojo. So those are some story points we think need to get resolved in season 6. And as for our main characters and their wants and their obstacles, we have Johnny Lawrence, who wants a happy family. Carmen, Miguel, Robbie, baby or babies. We'll see. Obstacles, Kreese out of prison, Hector pursuing Miguel and Carmen, Terry Silver, possibility of birth complications, and of course, Cobra Kai. Daniel LaRusso wants a happy family to uphold Mr. Miyagi's legacy, take down Cobra Kai. Obstacles, Cobra Kai, Kreese out of prison, Terry Silver, possibly Tom Cole. Chosen Taguchi wants Komiko. He wants his honor. He wants to uphold Mr. Miyagi's legacy and take down Cobra Kai. And then obstacles, he suffered from that major injury. Cobra Kai, Terry Silver, Kim Da-eun being dishonored. We got Kim Da-eun, who wants to uphold Kim Sung-young's legacy, wants control / power, wants respect, reputation, to reunite with Kreese. Her obstacles are Miyagi Fang, Daniel, Johnny, Chosen, winning the Sekai Taikai, Terry Silver, committed crimes, loss of sensei students. We have a lot of obstacles for her.
Yes,
that's a good thing, though, to have more obstacles for the villain. That's a pretty cool thing.
It is. It is. You could see a new ferocity come from Kim Da-eun in season 6.
That's what I'm excited about. I think by making this list, it shows us the potential of her character and how she can evolve into a more
Yes.
three-dimensional character.
Yes, 100%. And that's why, Drew, I think it's so amazing we're doing this is we're thinking it out. We're thinking about these characters. And then like everyone here in the chat who's thinking about this, we're all on the same page. And I think we can all agree with all of these. Like, I think we've kind of put our finger on these characters.
100%. And then we got Carmen Diaz, who pretty much wants the same thing as Johnny. She wants a happy family. She wants Johnny. She wants Miguel, Robbie, or baby. Obstacles, possibly Hector pursuing her and Miguel. Terry Silver, possibility of birth complications. And for our side character, once again, not confirmed if he's going to be in it. This is going to be a big discussion point. He could pose a big obstacle as Hector, who wants control, legacy, and family. And his obstacles are Johnny, Carmen, and Miguel. Woo! Yep. Ken! What a great first writer's room. What would you say? How you feeling? How are you? Got to stretch a bit.
I feel great. This was so much fun just talking about the series we love and these characters and digging in. And we've already talked about some interesting ideas that James Hayward, who is in the chat working on season 6, he didn't say what, but he said at least one of the things we talked about today is happening for sure in season 6. We don't know what it is.
We don't
know. But you know, we think it's Colonel Dugan, but no, we're kidding. But isn't that exciting?
Really, really exciting. I think this was such a productive live stream. So fun. This is what it's all about. It's back and forth. It's I have an idea and then it's like, oh, you could do this with it. And then you could do this. And it's just building and building and building. And, you know, sometimes you get too excited and you have to kind of ground it back. But that's what it is. It's discussion. It's debate. It's fun. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful.
We're gonna make something beautiful. And I think the more we do this, the more excited we'll be for season 6, right?
Oh, yeah. And you know, what's kind of exciting is we're doing this based on what we know. But John, Josh, and Hayden and their entire writing staff, like they've always said they have an end game in mind. So they're going to be coming up with like some amazing stuff too. So it's going to be fun to like look what we can come up with, but then it'll be so exciting to see the actual show as well. It's great.
Definitely. So we don't have a set date yet for our next live stream, but we will let you guys know soon, and we will let you know a couple days in advance. So make sure you are following Cobra Kai Kid here on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. I got links in the description. And Ken Cole, I know you will be promoting the stream as well. So yes. Where can everyone find you so they know when to check out these streams?
Absolutely. I'll be pushing these streams on my social media. Just look for Kennergy Cole on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Also, my YouTube channel is Ken Cole. So if you don't follow me there and hit the notification bell. We have Ken Cass, and this weekend we're going to have David Shatraw, who plays Tom Cole. On Saturday, he's going to do a live with us and everything. But we'll be talking about, so if we have news about this discussion with Drew, the Cobra Kai Kid, we will be talking about that on the Ken Cast as well. So, and then I'm looking forward to having Drew on the Ken Cast as well. So, but yeah, Drew, this was so much fun, and I cannot wait for the next one.
Yeah, and you can even pitch David the ideas we have for season 6. See what he has to think.
I definitely could. Yeah, and I'd be interesting to talk to David and just kind of get his sense. You know, he was there from the beginning, and you know, is he open to coming back? And you know, does he know anything? You know, he probably doesn't know anything, but you know, so I can't wait to see what he says. It'll be fun. So join us live.
Come join us. Yeah. Come join us. Love it. So great. So before we wrap up, part 2, this was part 1 of the series. Part 2, what you can expect. We will be we're literally going to pick up where we left off, continuing the characters, the wants and the obstacles. As we mentioned, that's essential for creating the foundations of the story. And then just to give everyone a little tease, where do you think we'll go from there after we get that done?
You know, I think once we have all the characters done, and as we saw today, it did take a while, and I think it's worth it and it's good time. So we'll see, time well spent, I should say, and we'll see how far we get. And after that, I think we talk about the story. Like what are the big story beats for the season that we see happening? Or at least initial ideas, because that can change. And we'll see how far we get there, and then we start breaking the episodes, right? So we'll it's a lot of good work, guys, and we're glad that you're with us on this journey.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. And quickly before we wrap up, DK Styles corrected his super chat. I couldn't understand the other one, but he answered. Thank you again. He says, bring Kenny's brother into Cobra Kai. Sean, yeah. Me and Ken, I think Ken, you like him? You like Sean?
Oh gosh, can you imagine Sean actually learning like Cobra Kai techniques and Way of the Fist? Like that guy would be unstoppable. Unstoppable. Yes. That would be just insane. So well, I think that's a great thing to point. And that's the thing, guys, like, and Drew, I think you'd agree too. One of the most important parts, if you're thinking of a story, is like just stepping back and thinking about it, you know. And that's what we're going to do in between these streams. We're going to think, and I know we're going to get new ideas, and then we can bring them, and I can pitch them to Drew, and you and Drew can pitch his ideas to all of us, and that's what makes it so fun.
That'll be fun. Yeah, we're going to take the time, and then once we come back, we could spend the beginning like saying like, hey, while we were gone, I thought of this. Because sometimes you can go to sleep and come up with a new idea, or sometimes you're inspired by regular life. You know, the best ideas are like it's inspirations, you know, like real life things that happen. And, you know, just like we could have like a Mr. Miyagi sign that comes to us. You never know.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's fun.
This was great. This was so great. I'm so excited to keep doing this. It was awesome.
Yes. Can't wait for the next time, Drew. We'll look forward to making it happen.
Yes. And we will let all of you know when that's going to happen. So make sure you stay tuned. You follow us, you subscribe, all the fun stuff. We really appreciate you all for being here. You guys are the best around. We will see you guys next time on Cobra Kai Kid. And until then, remember, Cobra Kai
never dies.
Bye, guys.